Canary P.I.? What's that, a pet store? The Canary P.I. audio drama podcast, tales of the peculiar through the eyes of your favorite gumshoe. Well, maybe one of them. Listen to our newest 2-hour saga titled Reminisce to Remember, and our remastered Season 1 show is being released now. Aliens have your husband's head in a jar in the toaster stealing from you. Tell it to Rod Serling, maybe he'll buy you a ham sandwich for the rights. Canary P.I. Available in most places podcasts are found.
Impala Films presents Haunted, the audio drama. Season 2, Episode 7, Triptych. Part 2 of 4. Written by Benton Hodges.
James, are you... What is that smell? James!
What?
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
What happened in the interview?
It's not looking good, Abigail.
We didn't murder that man, James. Look, Dan is just trying to...
Dan can't help us. And maybe he shouldn't.
What are you...
If it does look bad, worse than it does now, I want you to put it all on me, okay? I coerced you to that gallery. I murdered that boy. I killed Theo.
It happened a few weeks ago. Took out the entire tower. Since then, he's been drinking like...
A fish?
Do fish actually drink?
Well, how do you think they hydrate?
I don't know. I'm not a fishologist. I mean, they're surrounded by water, but, like, can they breathe and drink it, or...?
Yes, the simile holds up, Dan. Then what?
We received an anonymous tip through Abigail's podcast. There was a date and time for an art gallery. James and Abigail wanted to break in and wait for them. I wanted to sit on a nearby rooftop and watch.
And they broke in?
Yep. Well, we argued about it for ages, and eventually they agreed to a stakeout. But when I woke up, they'd turned off my alarm and left without me. Now the pair of them are in holding, an art thief is dead, and the picture is missing.
Quite a shit show. How's the investigation coming?
I don't know. They've stonewalled me out of it. They say they can't have an officer snooping around with personal connections to the perpetrators, especially with the commissioner looming about.
Norman's involved.
Know him?
I know of him.
Of course you do.
Well, why don't you go to the crime scene and do a bit of detecting?
I'm not allowed.
And how's that working for you?
Oh, what, following the law? Usually quite well.
Sure, whilst your friends rot in a cell and you sit here being useless.
Hey, I'm not useless.
Oh yeah, you seem integral right now. A real key player.
Look, I can't just go to the crime scene. The whole unit knows me, and they know I'm not supposed to be there.
Well, what if you weren't Dan? What if you were someone cool like... Carlton Bridges, CSI.
Do I even want to know how you have those?
Oh, like it's so hard to laminate cards.
So, my options are sit here feeding ducks, or identity fraud, interfering with an ongoing investigation, tampering with a crime scene, and probably just a long list of misdemeanors that will decorate my criminal record like bonus points. And if I get caught, it'll make Abigail look guilty as shit.
Well, you shouldn't feed the ducks anymore. They had enough bread. So I guess that only leaves option B.
Well, no. This is too much. I trust Goodton to get them free.
And it certainly won't influence his decision if a certain police commissioner is breathing down his neck. So...
Fuck, I just need a minute, okay? You're asking a lot here.
I'm trying to help you.
Why?
The same reason I've always helped you.
The same reason you won't tell me.
That little rabbit hole I sent you down. You found a car crash, didn't you?
Yes.
And it certainly posed some interesting questions, didn't it?
Yes.
Then trust me.
Fuck it. Let's go.
Good choice.
But how are we going to get onto the crime scene? Fake IDs will only get us so far. They all recognise me.
Oh, I know how to sort that out. Let's just wait until the dumbest officer is guarding.
I know just the one.
Right, here's some fresh clothes. Try not to puke on these.
Thank you.
I mean it. I'm off, and the next guy won't be so generous.
When's my interview?
I don't know, when they're ready for you.
They better get a move on because we've already been here for 12 hours. Only 12 left.
They can hold us for 96 if we're suspects for murder.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh shit, your dad's a lawyer, ain't he?
Yes.
I'd get him on the phone if I were you. Anyway, food's on its way. Don't talk about the case. And food's on its way. Don't talk about the case. And don't try escaping. Think that covers everything?
You wouldn't happen to have a hairpin, would you?
Why would I have one?
The locks look pretty old. I figured, why not try?
And then spend the rest of our lives on the run.
Well, it was just an idea.
Abigail, just call your dad and get yourself out of this mess. Please.
James, I'm not going to leave you here. Just stop talking like that, please. They'll find us innocent or...
Were you going to say Dan will exonerate us?
Oh, I mean, he could.
Lecture us on breaking to the law, stick to us like a tick, and contribute nothing.
He was right, James. We shouldn't have broken into the gallery.
You wouldn't have come with me if you didn't think I was right. If you didn't want the excitement. If doing things the right way didn't bore you to tears.
Dan isn't boring. He's just...
Painfully predictable. Right now, he's probably sitting on a park bench moaning about how we didn't listen to him. He's not our way out of this.
I really don't know about this, Eliza.
It's Matilda here. Remember, Carlton?
Shit, yeah, sorry.
Right. Game face on, as we practiced.
Stop! This is an active crime scene.
We're CSI.
I thought CSI was done.
We've been told to come back, do another sweep.
Really? Says who?
Pader says Goodton missed something.
Classic Pader. Right, in you come. Wait. Why are you wearing a gas mask?
Because we don't want to leave breath vapour on the surfaces, of course. Just being cautious.
Right. Right. In you come.
Right, just over here. He can't see us.
Oh, Jesus, that is a lot of blood.
How good is your splatter patterns?
Well, seeing as I'm not actually CSI, I know the bare minimum.
Well, go on then.
I guess it would be here, or maybe...
Dan?
Yeah?
Stop and-ahhing. You're not an idiot, are you?
No.
So what the hell are you doing?
I don't trust my instincts anymore. Up isn't up anymore, and down sure as shit isn't down. And whenever I try to help, I just make it worse. And then James...
Dan?
Yeah?
Quit your bitching.
Okay. Right, okay. Point of impact would have been here. So those 3 spray lines there suggest it was a 3-point weapon.
What, like a trident?
No, it's more slashing, like a claw. Judging by the amount of blood, it must have hit an artery. The victim stumbled a bit, there's footprints in his own blood. Then he hit the floor. What?
That's your bare minimum. You seem to know your stuff.
It's just standard police stuff.
Really? So if I asked DC Arnott back there...
Okay, point proven. I've watched a few of the CSI guys at work, read a few of the books and case examples.
Why?
I wanted to be the best police officer I could be. What?
Nothing. Did your fellow officers mention a full film coverage of the gallery?
No. Why? Oh shit, there must be footage. Probably in the office. Here we go. Great. It's an old VCR setup.
No tape. You reckon the guy with the picture took it?
Yeah. Fuck. That's the only thing that could properly exonerate them.
Surely the security guard should have been managing these.
No clue where they were. Interesting.
What?
The robbery was planned for 1 o'clock. Look at the number on the VCR. It stopped at 8 a.m.
So a police officer must have swiped it.
Fuck. Right. Let's do one more sweep. I'm sure there's something they missed. Think, Dan, think. I paced up and down the hall of the art gallery, making sure to step around the lake of dried blood in the centre of the room. A strange gold-black glass was littered within the dried, brownish-red puddle, speckling it like stars in the night sky. I took a closer look at the shards of a statuette that had been on a nearby plinth. The police were likely drawing the conclusion that the statue was used by James to attack the bleeding man. But the blood didn't add up.
What's wrong?
Look at the blood here. Only the shards in the pool of blood have any blood on them.
So?
Well, if you bottle someone, you'd expect most of it, if not all the glass, to have some blood on it, right? Because it would have been together when it smashed and cut the person. And feel this glass. It's not very sharp. I think the statue was knocked off the plinth, but it was unrelated to the man getting attacked.
Well, it could have just as easily been knocked down during a struggle, especially if Mr. Hunter was drunk, as you said.
But then where's the murder weapon?
It could have been a bargnacki.
Yeah, I'm going to need more than that.
It's a claw weapon, modelled after a tiger. 19th century, from India. Maybe some occult, ritualistic version of one of these is kept in the gallery. You want to know something weirder?
Oh yeah, lay it on me.
That bronze statuette in the centre, Weeping Achilles, it's the most valuable thing here.
Well, if the guy who took the picture was working for someone else, then he probably just grabbed what he was told.
But it wasn't a pro, that's for sure. Or else he would have pocketed that for payment. It's not that big either. Easy to nab.
Potentially. We need to know if the police have an ID for the John Doe who died here. We need to know their height too.
Why?
Whoever attacked him was shorter than him. See, the blood arcs upwards. He would probably be the same height as you.
Well, look where the light is. The attacker would have been right on the edge of the darkness. They probably didn't see them.
Right. One last thing I want to look at before we go.
Entry point?
Yeah. Look, the lock's been frozen and smashed.
Liquid nitrogen, most likely. So it's someone who's good at B&E.
Just not an art thief. This might be crazy, but it matches an MO from a case 5 years ago, when I was a police officer around here.
Really?
Yeah, a burglar called Kenny Miller who used to carry a tank of nitrogen around. He'd freeze the lock and smash it with a hammer, but he mostly did jewellery stores with it.
And what happened to him?
He disappeared after a huge score. No one knew what happened to him. I guess he went underground.
The police would have recognised him if he was John Doe, surely.
True. If it was him who broke the door, then maybe he was the one who made off with the picture and left the other guy for dead. I think I can pull a list of known associates.
Hey, you managed to get the stain out?
Yep, but not the smell. Those were good shoes. Thought I was past the days of drunk bums spewing on me.
Hey, Jane will probably be happy you threw them out.
I thought they were nice.
And you had the dress sense of a colourblind clown.
All right, enough with the similes.
Metaphors, which part of it are you not getting?
Pader, unless you want to see my heart literally burst out of my chest like I'm John fucking Hurt, please tell me, what is in that file you're holding?
Pathology report on the John Doe.
Jesus, that quick?
So how's that heart feeling?
This job already has enough tension without you artificially extending it. What is in the file?
Nothing.
Nothing. So we're just wasting paper these days?
No, I mean the pathologist is stumped.
Stumped? The guy was missing half his neck and all his blood. You don't need Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys, and the entire Mystery Incorporated crew to put those pieces together.
Well, you may need them to explain this.
Yeah, I told you already, Anna. We don't sort murder cases by artist victim.
Why am I not surprised you're still working the records room?
Dan!
Lucy, long time. So, Who did you piss off this time?
Hey, maybe I volunteered to work records. Again. Ah, the DCI advice.
Well, I can take an educated guess what he did.
Right? Seriously, no good blue bottles in this shithole.
Well, Goodton was always an honest bloke. As much as he was a dickhead, at least.
Yeah, well, just between you, me, and the Image Runner Advance, he's massively in debt.
Seriously?
Yup. Few too many visits to the track.
Oh, shit. Wait, so he could easily be...
So, what brings you down to my domain?
Besides laughing at you and your Sisyphean task?
My what now?
Oh, sorry, I've been hanging around too many literature guys. He's this guy who rolls a boulder up a hill every day, and at the end of the day it rolls back and crushes him.
Why?
Gravity, I guess.
No, twat, why does he push a boulder up the hill every morning?
Beats me. I was just hoping I used the name right. Maybe he pissed off the people above him? Sound familiar?
Was that the bloke that Grady's always going on about? As that little statue of him on his desk?
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, he's a big fan of the classics.
Oh, don't remind me. Remember graduation day?
Oh, God, that whole speech about our Odyssey beginning?
Yeah, sitting through that speech felt like a fucking odyssey.
Oh, too right.
You definitely didn't come down here to just bitch about Grady and laugh at me, did you?
No, sorry.
For what?
I wish this was just a friendly call. I don't want you to think I'm using you.
Yeah, I owe you a few favours. Plus, I heard your girlfriend's in holding.
Oh, she's not my... Right. I was just wondering if you could pull the records on Kenny Miller.
The jewel thief?
Oh, wow. Okay, Rain Man.
What? He was my first collar. Well, he would have been.
If he hadn't gone underground.
You think he's linked to this art gallery shit show?
Quite possibly.
You know, I could get into an awful lot of trouble if I gave you those files.
I know it's a lot to ask, but...
I can't give them to you.
Lucy, that really isn't an option.
Oh dear! I'm such a klutz! Leaving the records room unlocked and leaving the computer logged on as Arnott. I sure hope no one uses the computer whilst I take my 5-minute coffee break.
Sorry, Arnott. Really not your day. And print.
How the fuck do you lose a body?
Starring Jamie Evans as James Hunter, Isabella Barbieri as Abigail Corbin, and Luke Hunter as Dan Cowell. Also featuring David Anthony Green, Edina Hadley, Elliot Bigden, Rajni Hall, Haunted, the audio drama, is created by Jamie Evans, with all episodes produced and directed by Jamie Evans and Benton Hodges. Audio engineering by Benton Hodges and Jamie Evans. Haunted is a production of Impala Films and is recorded at Free Sprite Media Studios, with special thanks to Duncan Newham for equipment support. Opening and closing themes by James Crow. Thank you for listening to this audio presentation. Come back next week for the next exciting chapter of Haunted, the audio drama.
Hi guys, this is Jamie Evans, the creator and co-showrunner of Haunted, the audio drama, and I'm here to tell you very briefly about a brand new podcast from Impala Films. Second Take Cinema is a comedic movie review podcast in which independent filmmakers have discussions about films that they've seen in the past, and they give them a second chance. Maybe the film isn't as good as they remember it being, maybe it's a lot worse, maybe it's a lot better, who could say? We cover a wide range of films on the series series. So far, we've included things such as Armageddon, Spy Kids, Atomic Blonde, and even some classics like Wages of Fear. You can find Second Take Cinema on all good podcasting apps. Just search Second Take Cinema or Impala Films. We should come up either way. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Haunted, and we will see you next week.